Module 1. Family-Centered Early Education, a holistic approach to child development. Family-centered early education is a philosophy and approach that places families at the heart of a child's educational journey, recognizing them as essential partners in fostering a child's holistic development. This approach goes beyond traditional notions of education and childcare by emphasizing collaboration, open communication, and a deep understanding of each child's unique needs within the context of their family. At its core, family-centered early education recognizes that families are a child's first and most influential teachers. It acknowledges that children's development is intricately linked to their home environment, culture, and family dynamics. By actively involving families in the educational process, this approach aims to create a seamless and supportive transition between home and early education settings. One key aspect of family-centered early education is fostering strong relationships between educators and families. This involves open and respectful communication, regular updates on a child's progress, and creating opportunities for families to be actively engaged in their child's learning. When parents and caregivers are seen as valued partners, they are more likely to feel empowered and confident in their roles. Furthermore, family-centered early education promotes a holistic view of child development. It recognizes that a child's cognitive, emotional, social, and physical development are interconnected. Educators work collaboratively with families to create learning environments that support all facets of a child's growth, ensuring that children are not only academically prepared but also emotionally and socially competent. Module 1. Working with Children. Working with children in the context of family-centered early education is a dynamic and rewarding endeavor that plays a crucial role in shaping the future of our society. This approach recognizes the integral connection between a child's development and their family environment, emphasizing collaboration, support, and active involvement of parents and caregivers in a child's educational journey. Family-centered early education acknowledges that a child's family is their primary source of love, care, and learning during the early years. Therefore, professionals working with children in this setting must adopt a holistic approach that considers the needs, values, and cultural backgrounds of both the child and their family. This approach ensures that education is not isolated within the classroom but extends seamlessly into the child's home environment. One key aspect of working with children in family-centered early education is fostering strong partnerships with families. This involves open and effective communication between educators and parents, as well as a mutual understanding of each child's unique developmental trajectory. When educators and families collaborate, they can create a supportive and enriching environment that promotes a child's cognitive, social, and emotional growth. Moreover, family-centered early education recognizes the importance of respecting diversity and promoting inclusion. Educators must be culturally competent and sensitive to the diverse backgrounds of the families they serve. This approach fosters a sense of belonging for every child and family, creating an environment where all children can thrive. Inherent capacities of children. Nurturing potential. Children, from the moment they are born, possess a remarkable array of inherent capacities that lay the foundation for their physical, intellectual, emotional, and social development. These innate abilities not only shape their growth but also determine their potential to become resilient, adaptable, and contributing members of society. Understanding these inherent capacities is essential for parents, caregivers, and educators to provide the right environment and support for children to thrive. One of the most remarkable inherent capacities of children is their boundless curiosity. From the earliest days of infancy, children exhibit an insatiable desire to explore their surroundings, ask questions, and make sense of the world. This innate curiosity is the driving force behind their cognitive development, as it leads them to learn about cause and effect relationships, patterns, and concepts that form the basis of their future knowledge. Children also possess a remarkable capacity for emotional expression and empathy. They can intuitively sense the emotions of others, and their genuine responses often serve as a source of comfort and connection. This inherent ability lays the groundwork for the development of social skills and the formation of meaningful relationships throughout their lives. Moreover, children have an impressive capacity for creativity. They approach problem-solving with an open mind, often thinking outside the box and coming up with innovative solutions. Encouraging and nurturing this creativity is essential for fostering their imagination and critical thinking skills. Inherent capacities also extend to physical development. Children are naturally inclined to explore their physical capabilities, from crawling and walking to running and climbing. These activities not only strengthen their bodies but also enhance their spatial awareness, coordination, and motor skills. Culturally relevant pedagogy, empowering education for diverse learners. Culturally relevant pedagogy, CRP, is a transformative approach to education that recognizes the significance of cultural diversity in the classroom. Developed by Dr. Gloria Ladson-Billings in the early 1990s, CRP seeks to bridge the gap between the culture of students and the culture of the curriculum. It aims to empower all learners by valuing and integrating their cultural backgrounds into the educational experience. At its core, CRP acknowledges that students from diverse backgrounds bring unique perspectives, experiences, and knowledge to the classroom. It argues that traditional educational practices often neglect these aspects, leading to disengagement, disconnection, and unequal learning outcomes. CRP, on the other hand, places culture at the center of the learning process. It involves incorporating diverse cultural perspectives into curriculum design, teaching methods, and classroom materials. One key element of CRP is the promotion of cultural competence among educators. Teachers must understand their students' cultural backgrounds, histories, and experiences to create an inclusive and respectful learning environment. They should also challenge stereotypes and biases to ensure that all students feel valued and respected. CRP recognizes that learning is not a one-size-fits-all process. It encourages differentiated instruction, allowing educators to tailor their teaching methods to meet the diverse needs of their students. By doing so, it fosters engagement, motivation, and academic success among learners from various cultural backgrounds. School of Infancy. The book School of Infancy is a captivating exploration of early childhood development written by the renowned psychologist and child development expert, Dr. Maria Montessori. Originally published in 1909 as Il metodo della pedagogia scientifica applicato all'educazione infantile, nel case dei bambini. The book provides a comprehensive and groundbreaking perspective on the education of young children. At its core, School of Infancy emphasizes the critical importance of the early years in a child's life and the profound impact of the environment on their development. Dr. Montessori argues that during infancy, children possess a remarkable capacity for absorbing knowledge and developing essential skills, which she refers to as the absorbent mind. She advocates for creating carefully prepared environments that encourage exploration, independence, and self-discovery. One of the central concepts of the book is the idea that children learn best when they are actively engaged in their surroundings. Dr. Montessori emphasizes the role of the teacher as a guide rather than an instructor, allowing children to explore and make choices within a structured environment. This approach fosters a sense of autonomy and responsibility from a very young age. Furthermore, School of Infancy delves into the importance of tactile learning and sensory experiences. Dr. Montessori believed that children learn by touching, feeling, and manipulating objects, and she designed materials and activities that catered to these sensory needs. Research for school success. The 1970s marked a significant period in the field of education, particularly in terms of research focusing on young children and their school success. During this decade, educational scholars and policymakers began to recognize the importance of early childhood education and its impact on a child's future academic achievement. Several focal points emerged in research during the 1970s, shedding light on critical factors that influence young children's school success. First and foremost, there was a growing emphasis on the significance of early childhood education programs. Researchers began to explore the benefits of pre-kindergarten programs and their potential to prepare children for school. The famous Perry Preschool Project, initiated in the 1960s but extensively studied during the 1970s, demonstrated the long-term positive effects of high-quality preschool interventions on school success. This research encouraged investment in early education programs, ultimately leading to the expansion of initiatives like Head Start. Secondly, The 1970s saw a surge in research on the role of family and home environments in shaping a child's educational outcomes. Scholars recognize that a child's educational journey begins at home, and factors such as parental involvement, socioeconomic status, and family support greatly influence a child's readiness for school. This era witnessed numerous studies investigating the links between these variables and school success. Furthermore, researchers in the 1970s began to delve into the importance of early literacy and numeracy skills. Studies revealed that children who developed strong foundational skills in reading and math during their early years were better equipped for academic success. This insight led to the development of early literacy and numeracy programs aimed at nurturing these critical skills in young children. Importance of community relationships. Principals play a pivotal role in the success of any educational institution, and one of their key responsibilities is to recognize and foster the importance of home-school community relationships. These relationships form the bedrock of a thriving educational program and are instrumental in ensuring the holistic development of students. First and foremost, home-school community relationships create a supportive ecosystem for students. When parents and guardians actively engage with the school, they convey the message that education is a shared responsibility. This collaboration not only motivates students but also helps them feel secure, valued, and understood. Principals who acknowledge and promote these relationships facilitate an environment where students can flourish both academically and emotionally. Moreover, these relationships foster effective communication and problem-solving. When parents and teachers maintain an open line of dialogue, they can address challenges and opportunities promptly. Principals who encourage this dialogue ensure that potential issues are nipped in the bud, leading to a more harmonious and productive learning environment. Additionally, home-school community relationships promote a sense of belonging. Students who see their school as an integral part of their community are more likely to stay engaged and motivated. Principals who recognize this interconnectedness create a school culture that is inclusive and vibrant. Furthermore, these relationships can have a positive impact on student outcomes. Research consistently shows that students with engaged parents tend to perform better in school. Principals who understand this correlation can leverage it to enhance educational outcomes and create a positive reputation for their school. Teachers and volunteers. A teacher's responsibility when enlisting the help of volunteers is a critical aspect of fostering a positive and productive learning environment. Volunteers can bring invaluable support to a classroom, enhancing the educational experience for both students and educators. However, to ensure that this collaboration is effective and beneficial, teachers bear a significant responsibility. First and foremost, teachers must clearly define the roles and expectations for volunteers. This involves providing detailed information about the tasks they will be undertaking, the time commitment required, and any specific skills or qualifications necessary. A well-structured plan ensures that volunteers can contribute meaningfully and feel confident in their roles. Communication is another essential aspect of a teacher's responsibility. Teachers should maintain open and transparent lines of communication with volunteers. Regular meetings, check-ins, and feedback sessions can help volunteers stay informed and address any concerns or questions they may have. Effective communication also helps volunteers understand the goals and objectives of the classroom, ensuring that their efforts align with the teacher's educational objectives. Furthermore, teachers must provide adequate training and support to volunteers. This includes familiarizing them with classroom procedures, instructional methods, and behavior management strategies. Proper training empowers volunteers to engage with students effectively and handle various situations that may arise during their service. In addition to these responsibilities, teachers should also appreciate and recognize the contributions of volunteers. Expressing gratitude and acknowledging their efforts can boost morale and motivation, encouraging volunteers to stay committed and enthusiastic about their roles. Autocratic leadership. Autocratic leadership, also known as authoritarian leadership, is a leadership style characterized by a strong, centralized control over decision-making and a limited degree of input from subordinates or team members. In this leadership approach, the leader holds the ultimate authority and makes decisions unilaterally, often without seeking consensus or feedback from their team. While autocratic leadership has its advantages and disadvantages, It is important to understand its key features and when it might be an effective leadership style. One of the defining characteristics of autocratic leadership is the leader's dominance in decision-making. They dictate the goals, strategies, and tasks, leaving little room for input or collaboration. This style is most effective in situations where a quick decision is needed, such as in emergencies or highly structured environments where there is little room for error. For instance, in the military, autocratic leadership can be essential for maintaining discipline and executing precise maneuvers. However, autocratic leadership can have its downsides. It can stifle creativity and innovation, as team members may feel discouraged from sharing ideas or taking initiative. Additionally, it can lead to low morale and job dissatisfaction among team members who feel excluded from the decision-making process. Over time, this can erode trust and cohesion within the team. Least restrictive environment. The concept of the least restrictive environment, LRE, is a fundamental principle in the field of education, particularly in special education. It refers to the educational placement that best serves the needs of students with disabilities while allowing them to be educated alongside their non-disabled peers to the greatest extent possible. The LRE principle is enshrined in the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, IDEA in the United States, and is a guiding principle in many other countries' special education systems as well. The key idea behind LRE is to ensure that students with disabilities are not unnecessarily segregated from their peers without disabilities. Instead, they should be included in general education classrooms to the maximum extent appropriate for their individual needs. This approach is rooted in the belief that students with disabilities benefit academically, socially, and emotionally from interacting with their typically developing peers. The determination of the least restrictive environment is made on a case-by-case basis, taking into account the unique needs and abilities of each student. Factors considered include the nature and severity of the disability, the academic and social benefits of inclusion, and the availability of supplementary aids and services that can support the student's success in a regular classroom setting. LRE promotes inclusivity, diversity, and equity in education. It fosters a sense of belonging for students with disabilities, reduces stigma, and encourages the development of friendships and social skills. Moreover, it aligns with the broader societal values of equality and integration. Understanding attachment issues. Attachment is a fundamental aspect of human development that influences our emotional well-being and relationships throughout our lives. Attachment issues refer to difficulties in forming and maintaining healthy emotional connections with others, often stemming from early childhood experiences. These issues can have far-reaching consequences, impacting our ability to build satisfying relationships, manage stress, and navigate life's challenges. Attachment theory, developed by John Bowlby and later expanded upon by Mary Ainsworth, highlights the importance of the parent-child bond in shaping attachment styles. Attachment issues can manifest in adulthood, affecting romantic relationships, friendships, and even work relationships. Fortunately, with self-awareness and therapeutic support, individuals can work to understand their attachment styles and develop more secure and fulfilling connections with others. By addressing these issues, individuals can pave the way for healthier, more satisfying relationships and improved emotional well-being. Strategies for working with families around attachment issues. Attachment is a fundamental aspect of human development, forming the basis for emotional well-being and interpersonal relationships throughout life. When families encounter attachment issues, whether due to early disruptions, trauma, or other factors, it is essential to employ effective strategies to support healthy attachment bonds. Here are some key strategies for professionals and caregivers working with families facing attachment challenges. Begin by educating families about the importance of attachment and its role in a child's development. Psychoeducation helps families understand their child's behavior and emotions in the context of attachment, reducing feelings of blame and frustration. Conduct thorough assessments to identify attachment-related challenges and tailor interventions to meet the specific needs of each family. This might involve working with a therapist or counselor to create a customized plan. Encourage caregivers to provide a secure base for the child by offering consistent routines, nurturing, and responsiveness. This helps children feel safe and fosters trust in their caregivers. Teach both children and caregivers strategies for emotional regulation. This includes recognizing and managing their emotions, which can lead to more secure attachments by reducing conflict and enhancing communication. Offer evidence-based therapeutic interventions such as play therapy, attachment-focused therapy, or family therapy. These interventions can help children and families explore their emotions, address unresolved trauma, and improve their relationships. Connect families with support groups or peer networks where they can share experiences, gain insights, and receive emotional support from others facing similar challenges. Encourage co-parenting strategies that ensure consistent caregiving approaches among all involved adults. Consistency in parenting methods and rules helps children develop a more secure attachment. Recognize the potential impact of trauma on attachment and employ trauma-informed care principles to create a safe and healing environment for children and families. Continuously assess and monitor the progress of the child and family throughout the intervention process, adjusting strategies as needed to address evolving needs. Lastly, emphasize the importance of self-care for caregivers, as their well-being directly affects their ability to provide secure attachments. Encourage caregivers to seek support, practice self-compassion, and manage their own stress. Empowering and overpowering children. Empowering and overpowering children represent two distinct approaches to parenting and education, each with profound consequences for a child's development and self-esteem. These approaches stem from differing philosophies on nurturing independence and resilience in young minds. Empowering children involves providing them with the tools, guidance, and support necessary to make choices, solve problems, and build self-confidence. It's about fostering a sense of autonomy and self-reliance. Empowered children are encouraged to voice their opinions, make age-appropriate decisions, and take ownership of their actions. Parents and educators who empower children believe in nurturing their natural curiosity and creativity. This approach helps children develop critical thinking skills, emotional intelligence, and a strong sense of self-worth. In contrast, overpowering children occurs when adults exert excessive control, make decisions for them, and stifle their independence. Overpowering parents or educators often use authoritarian tactics, such as strict rules and punishments, to enforce compliance. While well-intentioned, this approach can lead to children feeling disempowered and anxious. They may become overly dependent on authority figures and struggle with decision-making and problem-solving when left to their own devices. The key difference lies in the balance between guidance and control. Empowering recognizes that children need guidance but respects their autonomy and choices, while overpowering leans toward control and restricts their freedom. Empowering children builds resilience, self-esteem, and a sense of responsibility, whereas overpowering can hinder their development, creating feelings of inadequacy and rebellion.